Today, y'all, we are taking a look at the Jada Toys Street Fighter Fei Long. Let's look at it. First Fei Long, logo, figure, window, accessories. Pretty cool packaging. One side, Cammy and Ryu, Fei Long. Other side, it talks about country origin, Hong Kong, fighting style Kung Fu. And in the back, screenshot pose of Fei Long and the characters roster, which we're almost done with this roster, except Zangief. Can't wait to get him. But let's get Fei Long open and see what he's got to offer. For the accessories, we have your standard issue Street Fighter stuff. We have two sets of hands, two really good detailed head sculpts, and a kicking flame effect. Very nice for what you get. Now that Fei Long or Fei Long is free, let's look at the figure himself. Now, right off the bat, we know who Fei Long is inspired by: the legendary martial artist himself, Bruce Lee, rest in peace. And I think that, honestly, Fei Long is what I'm going to call him. He was kind of my main in Street Fighter. He always was, along with Akuma, who we did review. You go check out that review. Link will be in the description down below for you to check that one. Him and Ryu were the three ones that I like to use the most. But anyway, I think this figure looks fantastic. There is one nitpick, though, I have with it, and that is with this shot. His hair is brown. So why is it black? I have a thought. I think because he's inspired by Bruce Lee, they wanted to try to give him the Bruce Lee look like as much as they could. And I think it was also a Capcom decision. So instead of making him accurate with brown hair, they chose to do it black. Now, is that a problem? No, it's not. But if you go through the line of Street Fighter that Jada has done, there are some questionable decisions that they have made, like changing sculpt, inaccurate colors. There have been small things that Capcom just would not let Jada do. But I can understand them not wanting him to have brown hair and just keep it black, which again is not a bad thing. But let's get in the figure. Now, this here is the version 2. If we remember the first version that came out, I don't have it to compare, but remember the skin tone, how tan the head sculpts were. Like, it didn't match the body whatsoever. Like, the body here was yellow, while the head sculpts were like a hot dog tan. And to me, that didn't make sense. Another thing, too, was the eyes. The eyes were just, and there they are now. The eyes were just not painted properly. They weren't. They just weren't painted properly. And focus. I'm doing this. My camera loves to mess with me. But they weren't painted properly. Like, they were painted a little bit too small. But here, you can see the detail looks far better than the first version. Like, just the paint and the printing, everything about this head sculpt, along with the other one, looks just like Fei Long. The body as well, sculpted very nicely. The reuse here for Ryu is the arms. The torso and everything is different, which I'm glad Jada made that decision to design different torsos for each character, because could you imagine putting a Ryu torso on this Fei Long? It wouldn't work. The pants are sculpted as well, very, very nicely. And the blue, the texture, everything about it just looks so well done. So nice. Down to here, to the feet as well, with a yellowish color and blue, sort of blackish color, and yellow lines with black soles. So again, this is not a bad look. It's pretty basic though. Fei Long is a pretty basic figure, don't get me wrong, again, because he's based on Bruce Lee. But I do have later on some ideas and some things that I'd like to show off with him. But again, there's not much to go about because he is one of the basic figures and he was one of the very first releases. We know as the line progressed, they got better not only in terms of articulation, but also sculpt and details. And it's just going to get better from here. It's going to get better. I know I'm already giving my thoughts on it, but I'm just like trying to think of what else to say about this figure that hasn't been said by many other reviewers besides myself. He is a really good, posable, fun figure. But now, let's get into some comparisons. Here he is alongside the last two reviews we did, the Marvel Legends Brand New Day Spider-Man and the Blockies High-Tech Edition Buzz Lightyear. To close out on my final thoughts on this figure, as I said in the review, in the inspection, I think this is a really good figure, especially with it being the 2.0 with improvements on the head sculpt and the face, especially with this other face right here. I think this is really good. The articulation is now more buttery smooth. Interchanging parts, don't have any issues with that whatsoever. And I hope with the way the sturdiness of the joints, I know they're implementing that as well with the newer figures. Like I said, we looked at Akuma. Fantastic figure. One of my favorite pickups, purchases of the year. And we're almost done with the year, by the way. Can't believe it. But anyway, the figure is great. If you don't have Phalanx in your collection, you could find him at your local Walmart. I found this one at mine, like two of them. So it wasn't bad. To find him at my local Walmart was very nice. So if you don't have him, do not skip. He's worth it, especially as well if you are a big Bruce Lee fan. And if you don't have a Bruce Lee action figure, he kind of fits that description. And again, I'm going to have a short out later on to show off some input and some custom ideas that I hope you will tune into and check out after you watch this review. But again, everybody, I appreciate y'all stopping by. As always, take care.
Plastic Man, the one, the original Elastic Man, always in great shape for the shape he's in, the fantastic Plastic Man.